Good morning. This is Veteran Today, WCEG Talk Radio. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. I am Herman Anderson, and my co host is Anthony Aiken. He's not here today. Uh, he will be calling in. Our call in number is 678-619-1402. We are your worldwide community empowerment group. And as we get started today, I will talk about several issues. One is how to get your benefits and entitlements, and and go through the process of what you need to do for various uh, claim processes and the what the issues that you have when you navigate the VA system, which is kind of a complicated issue itself. As we go through that, we will cover several items that addresses these issues, and I will start by just naming some of the benefits as a veteran that you are entitled to. And one is educational benefits. You are entitled to several types of educational benefits that will assist a veteran after you are out of the military. Another one is life insurance. You're entitled to various forms of life insurance. And one that familiar with quite a few people are home loans. Home loans are available to veterans, and one that some veterans are uh, understand and some veterans are not. And that's one we are trying to get veterans to better understand disability compensation and pensions and medical benefits. Also, medication are available through the VA system. Uh, and one way to get in the system and to get started and to have assistance with your claims is using a veteran service organization. And veteran service organization are organizations like DAV, American Legion, AMVET, and Vietnam Veterans of America. These organizations have certified claim officers that would help you navigate the system and work your claim. Uh, I mentioned healthcare, vocational rehab. Uh, those are also benefits. Barrier benefits is an item that a lot of us don't take advantage of, but you are a veteran is eligible to be buried in a national cemetery. In Georgia, we have three: Cherokee County, Millersville, and in South Georgia near Statesboro. And in order to get one of the easy way to get started into uh, getting your benefits and understanding your entitlements is to call the VA hotline, and that number is 1-800-827-1000. Again, 1-800-827-1000, or you can go online at www.va.gov, and that will get you started on the route to getting your benefits and entitlement uh, through the VA system. If you're a veteran, spouse of a veteran, dependent of a veteran, all of those options are there. Again, you're listening to WCEG Network on WCEGTalkRadio.com, your worldwide community empowerment group. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and call in, join the conversation at 678-619-1402. And all those benefits and entitlements that I just uh, mentioned to you, uh, the way to get in the system and then to get started on that is that copy of your DD Form 214. No, that's really your passport into the VA. And you, when you are discharged from the VA, you are provided in your personnel records with a copy of your DD Form 214. And I know a lot of us misplace it. And the best way to, there are several ways to obtain a copy of your DD Form 214. One is to go through, if you in whatever state you're in, is go to your Department of Veteran Service. For example, the Georgia Department of Veteran Services is one option, and that number is 404-656-5914. Or another option is the National Service Personnel Office, which is 314-801-080. Again, 314-801-080. So that's your DD Form 214. And the next thing you're going to need, if you're going to file a claim for medical benefits, pension assistance, to make sure you're in the system, are your medical records. You need your medical records. You need three types of medical records. Your medical records from the time you were in service, your medical records after you were in service. For an example, you spent a career in service, so you spent 20 and 25 years in service, so you need all those medical records. You got out and you went to a civilian doctor instead of going to the VA. You need those medical records. And if you also went to the VA, you need those medical records. So those are the some of the items you need to get started in the system. Let's say, for the example, you would like to file a claim for disability. These I have a veteran service organization in addition to the one that I mentioned, the DAV, American Legion, Vietnam Veterans of America. And I mentioned earlier, the best way to navigate the system is to obtain a veteran service officer. Veteran service officers are trained and they are uh, updated. That skills are updated on a yearly basis. So the veteran service officers, through national organizations and nonprofit organizations, in the Georgia Department of Veteran Services, and all states has Department of Veteran Services, and some states offer more opportunities than others. But I recommend you obtain a veteran service officer who is skilled at navigating the system of the VA. And for an example, as I mentioned earlier, if you wanted to get started on filing the claims, for example, on a disability, you would set up an appointment with a veteran service officer, take your paperwork in, and have a discussion with that veteran service officer on the items that you wanted to file a claim with. And both of you guys would go through your the records that you have there with you to properly fill out the paperwork to submit the claim for your disability. And that will get you in the system and get you started. And you having the VA is becoming more mechanized, so you also have an opportunity to track it along with your veteran service officer. And the system is e-benefits. You create a login and a password so that you're able to log in to e-benefits and see the status of your claim. And if you also you can see the status of your claim by going to www.va.gov. And another option is to call the VA hotline is 1-800-827-1000. So in the length of time to get a claim through is being reduced, but it still is 6 months or more, and there's a process to try to get it reduced to 120 days as when you file the claim. But that's not a guarantee that it's going to take that long, and you may receive a request once you file a claim to ask for additional information. So you always has to be on status that your claim is being tracked, and you can get a request for additional information. And there are a certain item that's in this claim process is called a decision ready claim. And what is a decision ready claim? A decision ready claim is a claim that has all of the requirements in to be processed without the VA having to come back and ask you any question. For an example, these are some of the steps to take to make sure you have a decision ready claim. An appointment with a accredited veteran service organization. And accredited veteran service organization is an organization that has certified claim officers that are trained and there to help you. Gather all relevant and required evidence to support your claim, such as military service records, medical exams. Attend a VA claim exam if needed. That is an information section. And then submit your claim. And the best way to submit your claim is through a veteran service organization into e-benefits. That way you can track it along with the veteran service officer person that you're working with. So that's some information on the claim. And as I say, there's a situation where it can be a veteran, it can be a decision ready claim, and those are the ones that people get response back faster. And there are a lot of times in the claim process when you are going through claims, you will get feedback from the VA, and the VA will say that we are working on your claim, we need additional information, or it may just be a update that says we're working on your claim and we'll get back with you in X amount of days. And the system is still has a backlog. Some people get answers within 6 months. Sometimes it takes a year or longer. So there's still a lot of backlog in the VA system. And another item that I'm going to talk about today is particular to Vietnam veterans and veterans that served in the Vietnam era and served in Southeast Asia. If you are in the Southeast Asia area in Vietnam and were exposed to Agent Orange, you should get in the Agent Orange database, and that the number for that is 404-321-6111 extension 2181. That is an Atlanta number. If you're in other parts of the country, there are a different number that is available to get in the Agent Orange database. And once you get in the Agent Orange database, that is just step one. Step two is to file a claim related to Agent Orange, which Agent Orange has about 14 to 15 different issues that can cause Agent Orange. And the another number to call for Agent Orange database is 877-222-8387. That number again is 877-222-8387. And there are still a lot of Vietnam veterans that are not in the Agent Orange database and not being treated for diseases that can be attributed to Agent Orange. For an example, heart disease, lung disease, prostate cancer are examples of kidney disease that can be attributed to having exposure to Agent Orange. So if you're a Vietnam veteran and served in Southeast Asia, I encourage you to get in the Agent Orange database and also become file a claim for Agent Orange. Don't just get in the database and leave it there. That's just, as I said earlier, that is step one in filing a claim for Agent Orange. In talking about the claim system, a lot is what I'm going to do today on this show. We haven't been on air for a while, and this is you're listening to WCEG Network, WCEG Talk Radio, the Worldwide Community Empowerment Group. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Give us a call in and join the conversation at 678-619-1402. And just to move to something else that's relates to veterans and it relates to our entire population, is the 2020 census is coming up, and that is very important. And it's important that we be counted, and there are also opportunities to work doing this. If you are looking for temporary work, or if you would like to work on the census, there are opportunities to do that also. And at a later date, I can provide that information. I don't believe I have it today, but I can provide it. And just let me read you just a short piece of information regarding what is census and why it's important. Once a decade, Americans come together to count every resident in the United States, creating national awareness of the importance of the census. It values statistics. The census was first taken in 1790 as mandated by the Constitution. It counts our population, household, providing the basis for reapportionment of congressional seats, redistricting, distributing more than $675 billion in federal funds annually to support states, county, community, vital program impacting housing, education, transportation, employment, healthcare, and public policy. The next census is coming in 2020, counting increasingly diverse and growing population is a massive undertaking. And just some of the information that I have about the employment, the position of full-time or part-time with flexible hours to meet your schedule need, no experience need, paid training, and pay is from $12 to $27 per hour. So if you're looking, number one, please make sure you're accounted, and if you're looking for employment, this is an opportunity. And another thing that happens with the VA is one of the benefits that is available is is rehabilitation. Voc rehab is what it is. And we have veterans that are getting out of service that have disabilities. So you go through the process of filing your claim for disability, you get it approved, then the next step is what I'm going to do next. And unless you're 100% disabled, you're looking for other opportunities. And the VA has a vocational rehab is one of the education facilities, along with just the regular education. So those are opportunities for veterans that are going through transition to take advantage of. And speaking of transition, the active military today is doing a better job than it did years ago in transitioning veterans into corporate America and civil services job when you're getting out of the military. From what I've been told by people that are getting out of the military recently, is there a good transition program where you help with job training, jobs available, resume development, and transition your skills that you have acquired over X amount of years in the military into skills that are available in the commercial job markets. The titles are different. Sometimes the descriptions are different, but the skills that you have developed are marketable in the job market. In one organization in Atlanta that's been in existence a few years and does a good job of helping veteran transition is Vetlanta. Vetlanta meets quarterly, and they have job. They have pillars that help people with jobs, help people with education, medical, and so on. That is a good way to WCEG. Good afternoon. Good morning, WCEG Talk Radio.
Good afternoon. Is this the famous Herman Anderson?
Yes, it is.
How you doing, man? And happy holidays to you.
Happy holiday to you. I'm doing great. How you doing?
Well, I'm fine. I'm so glad that you're back on the air, and I look forward to teaming back up with you as we continue to provide information of importance to veterans. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and I was talking about the claim process and the benefits, and anything you want to kick in before you get off the air, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, well, I just like to let veterans know that we're coming up on the end of the year. There's an opportunity to share love and support the veterans out there, and for them to get involved and making sure that if they need some assistance, that they find them a veteran service officer, an organization that's going to help them try to deal with some of their claims. We know that our VA here in Atlanta has some major issues, so we need to come together as a group to make sure that the best services are provided to veterans in the Atlanta in the area and the surrounding communities in Georgia.
That is great, and we're still on the same topic, so we're talking along the same lines.
Yes, and the other thing is that we need to let them know that they're not alone. Right now, during the holiday season, This is when you see a lot of depression among veterans and their families. Let them know about the crisis hotline. And if they observe something or see something, call out, reach out, and get that veteran and their family some help and support, because we don't need any more suicides, anyone attempting suicide in our particular area among veterans. So that's all I got for you. I really, I'm glad that you know that we're back online, we're back on the air, and we're ready to move into 2020 real strong.
Yes, we are, and thanks for calling in, and we're getting ready to next year, move on the air real strong, like I say, and we will do that.
Fantastic. Good talking to you, Herman. Happy holidays.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, and Anthony mentioned the veteran hotline and the suicide prevention hotlines. There are, since he brought it up, I have it now, and I'll give you some numbers to call. And the crisis line is the number one number that the VA give out for crisis and suicide prevention. The crisis hotline is 1-800-273-8255. Again, 1-800-273-8255. In the suicide prevention hotline is that same number, is 1-800-273-8255. And you also can text on the suicide prevention hotline. That text is 838-255. 838-255. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-3224. 1-800-799-3224. The National Sexual Assault Hotline is 1-800-656-4673. 1-800-656-4673. The National Child Prevention Hotline is 1-800-422-4453. 1-800-422-4453. And the National Homeless Hotline is 1-877-424-3838. 1-877-424-3838. And Anthony also mentioned the Aboriginal VA. So that's an issue that we ask veterans to get involved in by getting your public congressman, senator, representative involved in what's going on out there, and ask them to look into the administration, the process, the accountability of all VAs, but particularly our local VA here in Metro Atlanta had some issues, and he mentioned precisely we are on board to make sure that it's upgraded and that it's available to take care of all our veterans, because there have also been some issues where some things that happened at the VA that was not very favorable to taking care of veterans. And along those lines, I received yesterday a newsletter from Congressman Lucy McBath, and she is advocating for veterans. And just give you a highlight of what she said in her newsletter is, if our office is honored to assist with a number of service for veterans, copies of military record and discharge medical records. So that's a big point there. If you're having issues getting your records and your medical records, go see your congressperson. Replacement of lost or destroyed service medal honors decoration while earning service. Healthcare services include wait time at the VA, applying for supplemental Social Security income or medical care, educational benefits under the GI Montgomery post 9/11 bill, dependent and survivor benefits, VA home loan, live services. So this is kind of new. The the congressman that I've had in my district in the past has not put out any newsletter encouraging veterans to come to their office. So I applaud Congressman Lucy Macbeth for doing this and reaching out to veterans. But those things that I just went through, uh, that's really good if you're in the system and things are not moving and you're having difficulty with the VA. Really, is go see your congressman. And, and WCEG talk radio on the WCEG network. We are your worldwide community empowerment group. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and call in and join the conversation. 678-619-1402. In the as we stated during the conversation, this is the time of year where uh, a lot of veterans, not only veterans, but American society in general, are dealing with depression, and with veterans, it's PTSD, but it's really PTSD for a lot of people, not only veterans. And it's wintertime, so we also have the homeless issue that we're dealing with. So we ask everyone to reach out and help a person, whether it's a veteran or not, in any way possible. And one thing that had come up recently in my group is just being able to people that were in the military and veterans that has went through a training process and a culture process where you feel comfortable talking with other veterans, for example. So if there's someone in your circle or in your group that you haven't seen or talked to for a while, give them a call. Just check in with them and ask them if they're okay, and that helps someone that I know that work with people that are dealing with PTSD and a PTSD support group has 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 that group doing that, and he tells me the results are good. So in this time of the year, that is very important that we communicate with people in our circle and people that we even people that we do not know. If they reach out to us, that we the good thing to do is to try to help them at that time in whatever way we can. And back to for an example, on the barrier service that's available to a veteran, and it's also available to a veteran spouse. And it's important if you decided that you're going to use that in that service at the time that someone passes, that you have a copy of the DD Form 214 available. Uh, that's in any other information. because, for an example, in Metro Atlanta, it's the the way if you don't have if you're not able to do it right away, then you gets into a wait time before they can process all the paperwork and get your loved one buried in the cemetery in Cherokee County. So I recommend, if you are planning to use that service, that you make sure you have your records in order, and when you go to the funeral director, that you're able to provide them the necessary information so they can work with you on this. Most of the funeral directors are familiar with this service, and they have a process in place to work with you. They just need the proper documentation to make sure that this this take place. So that's a good part on that. And I'm gonna go back again to people that are getting out of the service, and if you're in the job market, or if you want to be would like to be an entrepreneur, those are a lot of there. There are some organizations that are helping veterans that are being discharged today to do that, and that is good. It's no, the report is that the corporate America, the federal, state, and local government and counties are looking more favorably toward hiring veterans and understanding that veteran bring skills to their organization that develop, and they they just need to be able to talk the same lingo as they talk and understand the same issues in civilian terms as they do in military terms. And an, another item that being worked on in Georgia uh, is a national day for Gold Star fathers. There's a Gold Star Mother's Day. There's a Gold Star Family Day, but there's no uh, Gold Star Day just for fathers. In the Georgia Senate passed this past session passed a resolution recognizing Gold Star Father's Day as November the 9th, November the 9th, and the effort is underway through the Georgia General Assembly, uh, championed by Senator Representative Burnoff and Mike Glenn and some other senators in Clayton County to make Gold Star Father's Day a national holiday on November the 9th. So those are that's an item that we are pushing, and that we hope we get through by next spring. And and again, just talking about your benefits and your claims, because that's and 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 information. I mean, there are some of the churches have a quarterly information session for veterans and their families, and at those sessions where we have a VSO and someone from the VA to attend those sessions to provide information to the community and the members, that is where a lot of uh, our veterans get started, because there are still a lot of veterans that's number one are not in the VA system, and there are Vietnam era veterans that's not in the Agent Orange system, and some of those Vietnam era veterans are suffering from diseases that are eligible for compensation, heart disease, prostate cancer, lung cancer, kidney disease is just a few. It's like I say, it's at least 14 different diseases that are eligible for compensation to those exposed to Agent Orange. And if you don't have to have been in boots on the ground in Vietnam. If you worked on a ship, if you on a plane in Southeast Asia, in Thailand, for an example, you may qualify. So, and those of us that are Vietnam era age will, time is catching up with us, so we need to do it, and we have other veterans that are, like I say, not in the system. I recommend you get in the system, and you can get in the system as easily as taking a copy of your DD Form 214 out to the regional office here in Atlanta or to a VA office in your area and getting an ID and getting in the system. And then you know what benefits that are available to you at that time, so you can use it as you go along. And another item that we talk about a lot is the medical and disability benefits. Those are two key items that affect veterans as we age. Is the medical benefits, and with medical benefits, I mean, you're available for treatment at the VA. You're available for medication through the VA, and you can actually order it online. And the way to do that is to sign up for My Healthy Vet. My Healthy Vet is an automated system that provides you the ability to make appointments online, to order your medication online once you have completed the requirements of signing up. So we ask you to sign up for My Healthy Benefits, and the disability claim process is the ones that really there's really a backlog on that, and there's also a lot of back and forth and red tape. So that's where we recommend that you do have a veteran service officer, and that you have a veteran service officer that you are comfortable with, the first veteran service organization, and the person you talk to, you may not, you and that person may not hit it off. So interview someone else, talk to someone else, and also what veteran service officers tell people is you need to be complete with them also. If you haven't been to the doctor, for an example, then there's no record of your ailment. So you have to have your records, and if you've been to various some doctors at the VA and another doctor in the private sector, the service officer need both of those records so he can put together a logical situation where you are to qualify you for your benefits that you have earned. And another point is, particularly in your military records and your military service records, it's if you file them for disability, it has to be service connected. So you definitely need to have what happened to you in the military. If you were only in there 2, 3, or 4 years, but you were in an accident that could have caused some physical harm, or you were exposed to chemicals, for an example, Agent Orange, or uh, a lot of things that could have caused damage, uh, health damage, or disability damage at that time. You have to be able to go all the way back to that incident and and have that incident will then become the service connected incident that provide the opportunity for you to move forward on your claim. So that's what you that is why when we start looking at your records and you start getting ready to file a claim, is that we want your military records, and that way your military records is the roadmap to take you to everything else you need. And while we're talking about the claim process in uh, the disability process, is that there's there's something just like anything else, which we can call maintenance. If you and if you're awarded uh, say you're awarded 60% disability and you receive it and you are not going to the doctor and you're not getting your checkups, then it's a good possibility after a year or so that if you haven't been to the doctor, so there are documentation that you are either getting worse or getting better and you are taking your medication and you're doing what you need to do, uh, there's a possibility that your claim will be reduced. The amount you are getting will be reduced. And we see that quite often where someone was awarded a certain level of disability and then they just went off happy, didn't go to the doctor, didn't do any of that, and at some point they will get a letter in the mail saying we have reduced your claim, and that upsets them. That will get their attention. So the it's so if you are in the disability process and you're awarded a service, you still need to make your appointment, go to the doctor, and if you are on medication, talk to your doctor about the medication. If you feel like the medication is not helping you, or in some cases it may be causing issues, you need to let the doctor know. And since I've been working with veteran service officers in the claim issues for quite a while, and we have here in Metro Atlanta at the regional VA and also at the satellite office, community based offices. Uh, Sometime a veteran goes to a VA doctor, and that doctor and that particular veteran, uh, for some reason, just not compatible. So there's a process at the VA, and where you can go to the VA, and it's I believe it's called the VA, the doctors, the veterans advocate. You go to the VA and you make the necessary request to change your doctor, and that is happening. Uh, some now. I have people in my organization that are doing that, and my organization is Veteran Helping Veteran Headquartered Atlanta. Uh, we help veterans with their benefits and claims, is benefits and entitlements. We help you with the claim process, and we make you aware of what other entitlements and opportunities that may be available to you, such as if you're interested in training to become an entrepreneur, or if you're already a small business and you would like to get information on what's resources are available, that's what we do. We deal with the resources and the opportunities. We are not into financing or sponsoring anyone. And again, so if you are a veteran and you're in the community and you have not got uh, in the system, I definitely recommend you get in the system. And with this being this time of year where there's a lot of depression and homeless, and the weather is not good. It's here in Atlanta. It's not good today. Uh, so let me give you our numbers again. Is uh, 1-800-273-8255. That's the suicide prevention hotline. And the suicide prevention is the VA is trying to increase what they do with suicide prevention. What we do with suicide prevention, there's a lot of some additional effort being put out, but it's really a hot issue. Uh, and the National Suicide Prevention Hotline again is 1-800-273-8255, and the Veteran Crisis Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. The same number, and you can text the crisis hotline. You can communicate by text. It's 838-255. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. 1-800-799-7233. The National Sexual Assault Hotline is 1-800-656-4673. 1-800-656-4673. The National Child Abuse Hotline is 1-800-422-4453. 1-800-422-4453. And the National Homeless Hotline is 1-877-424-3838. 1-877-424-3838. So those are the numbers that you can use to assist a veteran, assist a family member in dealing with the different issues that come with being a veteran. You're listening to WCEG TalkRadio.com on the WCEG network, your worldwide community empowerment group. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and call in, join the conversation at 678-619-1402. And again, we to address some of the issues that has happened at the Atlanta Regional VA. 2 points. Number one is to get involved with your senator or representative and request that they oversee what's going on at the VA and what's going on. And as far as personnel, as far as the physical structure and the administration and accountability of the VA. And another point that I would like to make again is if you're dealing with claims, if you're dealing with veteran issues, is to contact your congressperson. And this is, as I pointed out earlier, Congressman Lucy Macbeth sent out a newsletter just yesterday with some of the things that her office will help you with. And this is a list of them. copies of your military record, discharge, medical, and etc. That is very important because quite often you do have issues getting copies of your military records and your discharge. And so it's good to know that our congressperson, in this particular congressperson anyway, it will help you. Replacement of lost or destroyed medals, awards, or decoration earned while in service. Healthcare services, including wait time at the VA. And that's wait time at the VA is is good. Has been a major problem in Atlanta because the facility has not been running up to par as far as staffing and physical issues. So that is important. Important. Applying for supplemental Social Security, income, or Medicare. That is important too because it's hard to navigate that system. Education benefits under the Montgomery GI Bill, post 9/11 GI Bill, and Reserve Education Assistance. Dependent and survivor benefits, VA home loan, life insurance. So those are issues in my recommendation as to veteran and as a veteran is do 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 not tackle these issues on your own. The first claim that I filed it myself, and basically it wasted my time. If I had went to a veteran service organization, I everything would have been in the system correctly, and that would qualify me to be treated in the system as a fully developed claim. And as I say, with the fully developed claim, you move through the system more efficiently, and all the information is there, so you can get what you need taken care of. And another item that I know is important is the mechanized system, e-benefits, because the VA is becoming more and more mechanized, and it's good, but there are some people that are not quite. If you're not up on your technology, then you need to get up. You need to get someone to do it because going forward, in order to eliminate some of the issues that we're dealing with, the VA is going to become more technology oriented. And there's e-benefits, and there's My Healthy Vet, and there's www.va.gov, and the hotline is really the last resort because you're gonna wait when you call the hotline, and that number is the hotline is 1-800-827-1000. So that is a lot of information that help veterans get their benefits, understand their entitlement, and here at WCEG Talk Radio on the WCEG network, we are here to empower you, and that's what we try to do. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and you can also WCEG is a non-profit community radio station, and you can contact the office by calling 404-490-8686. Again, we are 501(c) nonprofit radio station, and you can contact us by calling 404-490-8686. So that is the what we want you to do, and we will continue to provide you information and have information sessions as this has been a good year. We're looking forward to 2020. There's a lot of activity going on in 2020. I mentioned the census, and we'll be back live and well. So with that, I would say that WCEG Talk Radio Veterans Today is complete, and have a happy holiday season and have a good weekend. And WCEG Talk Radio Veterans Today will be back next year. Our next show, the first of the year, will be January 10th.